suffer. Sit in that boredom and suffer. It's crazy how the less you talk in a convo with some people, the more they start spilling the tea. Yes, I was also the person that people. So the way that I view people is that I was observant as a kid because as a defense mechanism, I didn't live in a very comfortable home. I was in a place where I was constantly in fear, being in trouble, getting beatings or whatever. So I became observant. Of my parents, my surroundings, the people around me to make sure that they weren't threats. So I observed people. I spent a lot of my time watching people's facial reactions or seeing if they're in a good mood or seeing if they're in a bad mood. I spent a lot of time focusing on other people and observing to keep my surroundings safe and to keep my mental health kind of thing. I didn't realize that that's something that people don't do. I thought all people did. But no, I was in a place where I had to kind of like observe the people around me to make sure that I was safe, which made me an observant person. And I could tell when people, then when I got older, I realized I can read people more. So when I read people, I don't look at them for face value. A lot of times I recognize people as always being inauthentic. When I'm having a back and forth with someone, my default is assuming that a person's lying to me, that they're presenting me with a mask. Okay, because we all have the mask, and some people are more authentic, and some people are completely in it. Some people just straight up just talk, just say shit, and it's not true, but they just say it. They're just a mask. Your relationship with some people you don't realize is straight up artificial. Whether you're the person giving them misinformation or they're the ones doing it to you, they might just not be giving you their actual authentic self. They're just giving you a mask so that they can keep you around, so that you can like them. They're just saying shit because they're afraid of being themselves. And there's a lot of people that you think are one thing are not, because people are afraid of being themselves. Being authentic can be a terrifying thing depending on how you were raised. Another example is like if you were in a household with parents and you weren't allowed to talk, or you were suppressed when you were communicated, right? Or you felt like if you told how you felt, then you would get in trouble. Then people like that creates liars, right? To protect yourself as a child, you lie. You don't say how you actually feel, so you don't get hurt. And that's why people lie, because if they've been in situations where they authentically said how they felt, and it's like, oh, this is bad. I've been damaged from this shit. This has consequences, and sometimes those consequences are more harsh than others, and then therefore people spend a lot of their times and they become just straight up just liars. They just lie about shit that they don't even have to lie to. It just becomes their default. The whole concept of like white lies and not just being honest. It's really ingrained in our brains. I hate when people falsely brag about themselves or think things are supposedly done. Yeah, but can't your true self be different in different situations? So understanding your authentic self and true self is a very large part of self-discovery, because in order to understand what is your authentic self, you have to figure out what's true and what's not true. There are people who are lying about themselves, and they know that they are. They're aware, right? If I tell you something, a sentence, and it's not true, then I know that I'm lying about it. Therefore, I know it's not authentic. And then figuring out what is authentic is about learning more about yourself. And I think the best way to put it is like, let's say people who are not authentic, you have to peel away at the things that are inauthentic. And then it brings you to another level of yourself. And then even from there, you have to keep peeling things away of inauthenticity. And slowly you start to find yourself. So you know how they say, like, finding yourself is always there, but it's something that you actually have to have a journey to kind of look through, because we lose ourselves a lot. When it comes to life, we lose ourselves. That inner child that people talk about, going back to find your inner child, the person that you were before all of the trauma, before events that shaped you differently, before you started doing things on autopilot that kind of hid that away. Finding yourself is quite literally peeling back all of the things that have done to pull you away from what is your authentic self. And it's a very scary journey, and it hurts like shit. It hurts. But when you do the work to find who you are, you'll realize that you're not a new person. It'll feel familiar. It'll actually feel like, wait a minute, why does this feeling feel familiar? What is going on? It's because you're rediscovering who you are, who you were before all the bullshit. As a child, I started picking up on cues to detect people lying. Everyone has a tell, everyone has a mask, and that includes family. So realizing that other kids didn't pick up on this as a child weirded me out. I was already shy and isolated myself from other kids because of it until middle school, where I created a facade of being quiet and perfect to also blend in. Yes, Lucario, yes. So people who dumb themselves down is a defense mechanism. There's a study shown. I don't know if you guys heard about this study about these monkeys, where there's one group of monkeys who basically opened up fruit, I think, using utensils like a rock. They would use this rock in order to open up the fruit or something like that, right? They took one of the monkeys from that group and brought him to another group. And in that group, those monkeys ate fruit in a more harder way. I think they just used their hands or something, right? So the monkey that opened up fruit with the tools saw that the other monkeys were opening it up with just their hands. And in order to blend in and to keep themselves to not stand out, he stopped using the most effective method to open up the fruit and went to the more difficult, harder way to eat food, just so that they can protect themselves and just so they can blend in. And humans operate under that same thing as well, where there's a natural inclination to conform, to be the same, because it keeps you safe. It keeps it so that you don't stand out in a certain way, which might put you in danger. And then dumbing yourself down so people don't think that you're smart means that they can't get over on you because they think you're dumb. So you're the one kind of getting over on them because you're not showing them your authentic self. And then as you grow up and getting older, you might dumb yourself on purpose more and more and more by default. You might actually be a very smart person and you just don't tell people shit about fuck because you just don't want that person. You just give people masks. And you think about it now with your current relationships, how many people have you interacted with right now in your day-to-day life? How many of them are you actually just giving them a mask of yourself? How many of them are you just literally just not telling them how you feel? How long has it actively taken you to get to the mental awareness you're at now? What's up, yo? So it's a journey, but I think I'm getting hit with all of it at once because I've been doing a lot of like reading and journaling and self-reflecting. I've been literally distracted the majority of my life with work and video games. Like I constantly find myself pivoting to different escape, Twitter, my phone, a video game, gym, eat while watching TV, done eating with watching TV, video game. Like I've always been I feel like in a place where I'm just jumping into something to distract myself from just being nothing, bored. I've never just sat with myself and was just bored because I always felt like being bored is bad, or maybe I have ADHD. I don't know. So when you're just bored, you find yourself trying to figure out a way to distract yourself from the boredom. It doesn't allow you to explore yourself because you're constantly exploring other things. If you think about yourself, your person, who you are, as a thing that you can do, a lot of us don't just do that. Now you can learn about yourself through other activities like reading, and you can understand, maybe learn values. You can see how you react to X, Y, Z, but a lot of times we don't just sit there in ourselves. And that's, I think, why some people are more stunted, because they're constantly in a place of escapism. So if you ever want to learn about yourself at a rapid rate that would change your life dramatically, in my opinion, the things that you do on a daily basis, like playing video games or watching TV or whatever you do that spends a lot of time, internet, brain rotting, stop. You don't have to stop forever, but just stop. Like literally force yourself to stop doing those things. And then when you get to a place where you start feeling terrible because you're not distracting yourself, suffer. Sit in that boredom and suffer for a little bit. Don't even write. Just suffer. Just be bored. Don't grab your phone. Don't listen to music. Don't find a distraction. Don't do anything. For a while, honestly, just suffer. And that is a pretty powerful exercise. Stare at a wall, sure. Or close your head. Close your eyes. It's so crucial to enter that state of doing nothing. It's so crucial. We don't think about that enough, especially as you're a gamer like us. We're constantly looking for that fix to boredom.